So Minecraft's new update, Chaos Cubed, has officially finished new features and is set to release in just a few weeks. This update adds features such as the new Sulfur Caves biome, Sulfur and Cinnabar block sets, and even a new mob which I'll get into in a bit. I really like this update, it actually looks really cool. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. The new mob is gonna be great to play around with, and the new blocks are gonna be amazing to build with. The Sulfur Caves are also going to be really cool to explore. So today I will be going over all the new features coming in the brand new Chaos Cubed update. Anyways, let's get right into it. So first I'll go over the new sulfur blocks. So first are the bricks, and they're like the normal stone bricks, just yellow like all the other sulfur blocks. The next block is the basic uncrafted version of sulfur that you can find in the Sulfur Caves. Then we have polished sulfur, and then we have the slabs, and there are 3 variants: the raw, bricks, and also polished. And then there's the stairs, which have the same variants, and then walls, which also have the same variants. Then we have chiseled. Then we have a block which is exclusive to the sulfur block set, potent sulfur, that does something that I'll get into in a bit. And the last sulfur block is the sulfur spike, which is like pointed dripstone, except it's made from sulfur. And the second block says cinnabar, which I honestly think looks better than sulfur, but they both look good either way. Now you may be asking, Mr. Quacks, where do I find these blocks? Well, in the Sulfur Caves biome, you can find sulfur and cinnabar. You can find them from these geysers that spawn on the surface, just like how you can find lush caves from azalea trees. These geysers erupt every so often, and you can actually make them yourself by putting a magma block under potent sulfur and putting water on top. And depending on how deep the water is, the higher the eruption will go. And these geysers even push mobs and players into the air. Now moving on to the Sulfur Caves, this biome looks really cool. I think this might be my new favorite cave biome. And in the Sulfur Caves, you can find these sulfur pools which look like this. And oh yeah, remember the potent sulfur that I mentioned earlier? Well, what it does is you can find these sulfur pools, and the steam coming off the surface of the water is actually from the potent sulfur. And when you step inside the sulfur pool, it'll give you the nausea effect. And the main feature of this update is the brand new mob, the Sulfur Cube. This is the 3rd slime variant added to the game, and unlike the slime and magma cube, it's actually passive. When killed, it splits into 2 tiny ones, which will actually grow up unlike the other 2. And the main thing this mob does is it will eat blocks you give it and basically become a punching bag. Depending on the block you give it, its properties will be different. Some of the blocks include wood, which goes pretty far, metal blocks, which don't go far at all, magma, which deals damage to mobs when you hit him with it, and my favorite, TNT, which you can light to explode and hit, which means they pretty much added grenades to Minecraft. The more damage you do to it, the further it goes, so if I just hit this with my bare hands, it doesn't really go too far. However, if I hit it with a sharpness 255 netherite sword, it goes all the way over there. This mob will be very useful for making minigames and will be super fun to just mess around with. And with that, that is everything added. If I missed anything, tell me in the comments. The update releases on June 16th, and that's actually 1 day off from the Chase the Skies update. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe. Anyways, bye guys!